Okay, so when we first watched season 1 of Beverly Hills, I think Camille was universally labeled the villain of the show, okay? She was even called the most hated housewife. Now, granted, Camille is not an angel, but when you rewatch the show, there was someone that was truly the low-key villain because she lit the match to two of the biggest arguments in the season, okay? She may not have quite made the noise that some of the other ladies did, but she definitely caused some of the ruckus. Stay with me, as you'll see things differently by the end of this video. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Let's get into it, okay? First, let's revisit Kyle versus Camille. If you recall, there was a misunderstanding about the discussion they were having regarding Camille's vacation plans without Kelsey, okay? Things took a turn for the worse when the ladies were on their way to New York to meet with Camille for Kelsey's play. At the airport, the ladies were discussing an argument, trying to understand why Camille was upset. So Taylor and Kim were having a conversation where Taylor said, I think she, meaning Kyle, made Camille feel insignificant without Kelsey. And then Kim responded, oh, so she's insecure. Taylor nodded and said, yes, that's what I got from the discussion that Lisa and Kyle had, but I have not spoken to Camille. And then from there, Kyle said, well, Camille is insecure and projecting, okay? So when they got to New York, Kyle and Camille tried to work things out. And in the middle of the discussion, Kyle told Camille, hey, don't be insecure about it. So all appeared to be well until the ladies go downstairs for dinner. And then Camille comes downstairs upset, wanting to know why Kyle thinks she's so insecure and wanting to know if there was a discussion about it. And Lisa was just perplexed because she couldn't understand how things changed so quickly in such a short amount of time. So Kim then said, well, Taylor, you were really the one who said that she was insecure. And of course, Taylor nodded and said that it was Kim. Now, if you think about it, Taylor may not have been the one to use the word insecure, but she definitely brought up the discussion because she said that she felt insignificant without Kelsey, that she was made to feel that way, okay? Now, notice Camille brings up that the same discussion again at the infamous dinner at her house, wanting to know who was talking about her. And then Kim said to her, I asked you why you felt that way, and then you said Taylor told you something. And then, of course, Taylor got pissed off again, and she deflects, and then her and Kim start arguing. But here's the thing, though. If you watch the producer's cut of this episode in Peacock, you will see that Camille said in her confessional that she thought that Taylor would have her back because Taylor had befriended her and was giving her information. She said that Taylor told her that the girls were coming for her before New York. That would explain a lot of Camille's behavior towards them because she was on the offense because she thought that they was going to attack her in some kind of way. Meanwhile, Taylor never says anything whenever Camille brings up the discussion. She just leaves Camille out to dry. All the while also becoming besties with Kyle, even though she's telling Camille that they, including Kyle, are coming from her, okay? I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like some snake behavior to me, okay? And here's the thing. Lisa suspected this all along. Lisa tried to tell Kyle that Taylor had something to do with the argument with Camille because it never made sense to her why Camille changed so suddenly. Lisa felt so strongly that Taylor said something to Camille. And Kyle kept dismissing Lisa and defending Taylor. And yes, we know Taylor was going through a lot. But Kyle didn't want to hear it. Sure enough, Lisa and Taylor meet for dinner, and Lisa flat out asked her, what did you say to Camille? Because it never made sense to me. What did you say to her? And then Taylor admitted that she spoke with Camille about a discussion that she was having with Kim at the airport, where Kim was speaking about Camille handling being with a celebrity. But if you recall during the airport scene, Kim said in her confessional that her friends used to feel insecure being friends with her. So they didn't really show that part of the discussion that Taylor is referencing. But if Kim did say that, I think that's the context in which Kim meant it, though. If you think about it, that's also different than what Camille said that Taylor told her, okay? So Lisa also made it clear, look, nothing needs to even start between Kim and Kyle, okay? And also, Kyle kept getting mad with Kim for fighting with Taylor when in all reality, she was right to do so. So all along, Taylor was the one that really caused the argument between them to explode. Now, granted, it didn't really help matters that during that argument Camille and Kyle had at the dinner in New York, that Kyle told her that she needed to go to therapy like immediately. But still, the word insecure wouldn't have stung her so hard if Taylor wouldn't have already had the conversation prepping her. Okay? And if we're being honest, if you go back to that airport scene, they really weren't attacking Camille. They really weren't coming for her. They were just confused about why she was so upset with Kyle and why she thought Kyle would say that. So she kind of twisted things a little bit. So Taylor was actually doing some work behind the scenes against bestie Kyle, but tried to play innocent. I'm glad Lisa was able to see right through it. Okay? Now, let's discuss the infamous limo fight between Kim and Kyle. If you really think about it, Taylor inadvertently started that fight. If you recall, they were there for Taylor's birthday party. Kim was late, and when Kim got there, Kyle had already told Lisa that she felt that Kim was drunk, okay? So, during the course of the party, Taylor pulls Kim aside to try to have a talk with her because she was trying to tell Kim to keep her out of the discussion between Kyle and Camille, even though she was very much in it, but she kept trying to tell, take me out of it. Now, at the reunion, Taylor mentioned that Kim's personality was different when she tried to talk to her, and she implied that she knew about Kim's history because she said she protected Kim. So if that's the case, why would you continue to argue with her knowing she had probably been drinking and knowing her history, okay? Kim and Kyle actually started arguing during the discussion with Taylor, which blew up and caused Kim to leave. So if you think about it, they would have never fought if Taylor hadn't fought with Kim. Now, granted, Kim and Kyle were definitely due for a blowout, but which I will get into in another video. But it might not have happened that night, though, if they would just let Kim be. Now, although I'm sure Taylor couldn't have foreseen what happened in the limo, but her fight with Kim actually set things in motion. Like I said, they got heated up, and then next Kim got heated up with the other girls, and she got heated up with Kyle, and it just kind of took a turn from there. So let's zoom out for a second, shall we? Two of the biggest arguments of the season, Kyle versus Camille, Kim and Kyle, and Taylor's fingerprints are all over them, okay? One seemed to be calculated, and the other one was a little careless. Neither one are innocent, though. So actually, that's worse to me. Because if you think about it, sure, Camille was obnoxious, Kyle was harsh, but at least you could see who they are. Taylor was working an entirely different angle. She was playing sweet with Kyle, feeding Camille information, and then acting confused whenever Kim brought her up. Lisa saw it, she said it to Kyle's face, and Kyle still didn't want to hear it. That's a villain arc. A quiet one, but a villain arc nonetheless. Now, Andy actually called Taylor out at the reunion. He called out on both of those points and told her that she actually started both of them. But I feel like she kind of got off light. If anything, Kyle should have been a little bit more upset knowing Taylor had a discussion with Camille about them. And frankly, Camille being the people's villain should have called Taylor out for playing both sides. But I wonder if they both let it slide because they may have known what was going on between her and Russell. So no, I don't think Camille was the only villain of season 1. And honestly, I don't think Kyle, even though her treatment of Kim deserves his own video by itself, which I'm definitely going to do. But if we're actually talking about the person who caused the most damage while getting the cleanest edit, that was Taylor, the undercover villain of season 1. Now, if you want to catch this stuff, go watch it on Peacock. Peacock actually has extra footage, and they have, like I think I mentioned, a producer's cut of dinner, which gave us some more tea. So, it gave us some more tea, and it filled in some gaps. Because like I said, Camille's confessional was a part of that producer's cut that I don't think we saw initially, which is why we didn't know that Taylor was talking the way she was about the girls. So, let me know what you think in the comments. You think I'm being too hard on Taylor? Or y'all still want to make Camille the sole villain? Because like I said, it kind of explains why she was so mad with everybody, why she really came for them. Not granted, she is a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a whole video about Camille too. Because there's some things that's misunderstood about her. But if you're enjoying this content, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.